Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. So I thought it'd be fun to do another draw music video scene in my style, but I thought before I go ham into either doing strictly 17 music videos or boy group music videos that I should at least do one of a girl group music video, and the group that I chose today is actually IZ*ONE because I really like IZ*ONE like a lot. I've been following him since like during the producer days and stuff, and yeah, I really like their songs a lot, especially their title tracks are very catchy, their B-side tracks are really nice, and I have quite a few biases in IZ*ONE, but before we start, I do apologize about my hands being a little bit like gray today, just because I was fighting with my two fountain pens because I haven't used them in a while, so I was like kind of flushing them out with water. So yeah, and they kind of stain your hands if you get ink all over them. And I've been through like almost 3 to 4 different cycles of washing my hands and it still won't come out, and my hands are just getting dry at this point, so I'm just gonna wait until it comes out naturally over time as I wash my hands. Okay, but the different ones that I chose for music video shots, I had 2 in particular that I really liked. One was of Wonyoung. I'll put the screenshots here, and then the other one that I wanted to do was of Chaewon and Nako. So the one of Chaewon and Nako is the one I'm probably gonna do, just because I like the color scheme overall of the background, as well as like Chaewon's outfit. Kind of like if you move towards the left side, it's more of like browns and neutrals, especially with like Nako's outfit and kind of like the floral background in the back. And then I don't know, maybe we'll do one of Wonyoung next time. I like the one of hers just because like the crown's very gaudy, the makeup and the outfit are really pretty too, like the red and the gold, and then you have the foreground petals and then the background also kind of blurred out. So maybe we'll do Wonyoung another time, but I'm gonna do the one with Chaewon and Nako. So, and I decided not to pick any scenes that had more than like 3 people because I am not really wanting to draw more than 3 people probably, so yeah, there's like a lot of like dancing scenes that are really pretty, but I'm gonna avoid them. And because it snowed recently again, I apologize about the shoveling noises that you're gonna hear. So in IZ*ONE, my biases are Chaewon, like Taeyeon, who else is there? Haewon and Hitomi are probably my biases. Because that's kind of the point of this, is kind of drawing this in my style. But I love Chaewon's outfit, so pretty. Like, I love that kind of like minty bluish green color, and then that tie. It's really pretty. I'm excited to paint her hair though. I'm not excited to paint her bangs. I'm always terrible at doing kind of like wispy, thinner bangs. I just have to be careful when I'm adding the base colors to this, that I don't accidentally color the whole thing like entirely black or entirely dark blue, or I'll lose kind of like the wispiness of her bangs. She has this really nice like wavy black hair, but because of the lighting, it kind of has like that dark blue looking undertone, which looks really pretty. The thing is, like, the reason why I chose the Panorama music video to do this kind of challenge is because this song has been stuck in my head for no apparent reason. So like, even though this song has been out for like a while now, like sometimes I just find myself just humming the chorus part. Okay, we're gonna say this is more of the correct size. I'm just gonna have to shrink down Chaewon quite a bit. I keep switching on like listening to either like K-pop songs, kind of just random indie songs, or K-indie, Japanese indie, J-pop. Like yesterday I was listening to Spitz, and I think the day before that I was listening to Sumika. So yesterday I was listening to Spitz and I believe Standing Egg. Also, by the way, just because I'm doing these kind of music video redraws in my own style doesn't mean that I'm taking requests on music videos. Just because I know people are gonna recommend, like I've gotten a lot of recommendations to do BTS and Stray Kids, which both of them, like I used to be a really big fan of BTS. I've just kind of stopped keeping up with them as much as I used to when I was younger. Let's give her nails. So I'll probably stick with groups that I'm more familiar with. And Stray Kids I just never really got into. Nails, I feel like nails are kind of similar to teeth. If you draw them incorrectly, they look really creepy. Which might work in your benefit or not. And like, I appreciate you guys showing support for your favorite group, but I think it's better not to bombard people who do draw fan art with your preference of group. I was gonna do this with like line art and stuff, but I feel like I'm gonna do that for another day. We'll do line art on the iPad. I'm gonna give her a little bit more of a delicate face. She kind of has like these little ruffles. But yeah, I was trying to refill my my little fountain pens because I haven't used them in like maybe 2 sketchbooks ago, and because of that they've been clogged and like the ink has dried out in them. So I had to flush them out with water, rinse them, let them sit in a jar full of water for a little while, and then I started to rinse them out and like soak them in water, and I was just like scrubbing at them and stuff, and then now my hands are like, they have gray and kind of like purplish tinge to them. But I kind of wanted to use the fountain pens for any kind of line work in my sketchbook now, just because like it kind of creates like more of a consistent line than some of my other pens that I used to use, because this sketchbook paper, or it's my pen that just doesn't want to adhere to the page, and because it doesn't want to adhere, it like takes forever to even dry. So her chin's actually, or not her chin, her cheek is kind of resting on her hand, so I should probably put her face in front of her hand. Okay, so I think we are done with the sketch. So I'm gonna work on the background colors and everything first, and then we'll add the colors in for Chaewon and Nako, and then we'll start to render everything. So new layer. The background, really, like the background color I don't really care about because it's gonna be more or less covered. So I'm gonna put a almost like a beige color down first. And then on top, we're gonna add kind of the window frame, or it might be a mirror. I feel like it's a window. Should probably do the wall first as well. Kind of like... So these lines should be parallel. So I'm gonna quickly blend out this a little bit because it's supposed to be like a corner of a room on this side. And there's supposed to be floral patterns here, but I'm gonna do the floral patterns maybe with the multiply layer on, just because it'll make it easier for me to do the patterning over top of the shadows. And slowly get more and more of this kind of a lighter blue. And then a bit of a darker color for the frame. A little bit of Gaussian blur. I'm gonna fade this out a little bit more, just because it is gonna be covered for the most part. I'm gonna add another layer and do the purpley. I should have just imported the image into here and I could color pick more easily. But this is probably better practice to eyeball colors a little bit. Okay, so you're gonna add a little bit thicker and a darker color. I'm gonna run it right underneath. On this side, and then kind of like this. And then we're gonna choose a really light color as if we're highlighting these areas. Kind of like as if they're being backlit. So we're just gonna focus on this side first, and then we can do the verticals a little bit later. I'm gonna actually make these a lot lighter, especially for these center ones, because I guess they're getting hit by a lot more light than some of these other ones. Merge that down. Okay, there is a little bit of light on these ones. I'm just gonna use the normal blue. Make it a little less saturated, because I think it's not as saturated as some other ones. Like that. I want to continue this ridge a little bit more to like the back of her. Okay, so let's slowly blur these. Some areas I would like to fix. I'm going to use the soft brush to do it. A little bit of a darker area that comes from shadow of the, what are these called? Window panes? I don't know what these are called. But there's kind of like these separate lines that kind of run across. That are a little bit more reddish. Okay, I'm gonna merge these down now. Make a new layer. I'm gonna redo some of these highlights to be a little bit more intense. Maybe this won't use any effects. We'll just do this normally, I guess. These are gonna be like some messed up looking flowers. It's difficult for me. I think the more detail you put in and then blurring the background probably makes it look a lot better. Unless you're doing like a normal outdoor scene, I guess. Because I think, let me see. Just want to confirm something. See, this one worked out because it kind of looks like a stage. And then the other one was kind of like an outdoor scene, like this. Like kind of makes sense where the foliage and stuff is, just because like you can tell the shapes of it. Makes more sense. Now my room's getting extremely sunny. It'll be like extremely sunny for a little bit and then suddenly becomes cloudy and then starts snowing. Okay, so let's try blurring this. The thing is, like, I don't mind it, but I also think me bumping up the saturation did it no favors. I'm gonna add a multiply layer and hopefully section off this back part a little bit. So let's change to a larger brush and figure out which side do we have to separate, because there's supposed to be like a corner. Hopefully this makes sense. Okay, let's just merge all these down. So we can start just painting Taiwan and Nako. So, duplicate, multiply. Just gonna change that so it'll be easier to transition some of the skin and stuff. So let's start off with more of a light pink base. Slowly darken it up and add a little bit more pink or red tones on this side. So this side should have the shadow. It gives Nako a similar base. I just have to lighten up her left side. Take a little bit of that and put it on this side. I'm not sure how well these read as white. Dark brown eyes, but obviously they look more black, so I'm gonna lean it towards actually dark blue or dark purple just to match the background. And then let's add a little bit more color to where her scalp is, underneath her bangs. I think these are just fun to work with, like, colors. Can make her thicker lips. It looks like Cheon has more of like full lips. Okay, so her hair, like I mentioned, is black, but I am going to lean it towards like kind of like a purpley blue. It's kind of like the base, just because she does have like more of a blue undertone due to the lighting of this. Kind of make her bangs not stand out too much. I like to blend in the skin color to the hair, especially near the forehead. I'll have to fix this because her hair just looks sparse now rather than like really nice bangs. Just gonna quickly fill in the rest of her hair. right side of her hair. Gonna darken it up and make it a little bit warmer. Oh my god, it looks a little bit more like Wonyoung. A little bit. Probably the shape of the lips. I should probably expand her lips this way. Okay, so I don't know exactly where I left off, but right now it's like past 12 a.m. up here. Hopefully you guys can see it. It says it's 12:10, so right now it's midnight, but I'm not too sure how loud I can talk because I am recording so late at night, and usually I don't like doing talking videos at night, but I kind of need to finish this, and I do have like a massive headache right now, so I do apologize if I suddenly stop talking. But I'll do my best to continue to at least narrate a little bit more about the process, but a lot of this is just going to be more of the base colors. I'm just going to do the base colors for Nako first, and then I think as we continue to do the base colors and doing the initial shading, I will suddenly stop and prepare for everything for rendering, basically. Hopefully I can get these colors kind of fairly accurate. Probably to turn off the blue light filter, otherwise this is going to be a little bit weird in color. So this is what we have so far. Gonna use the same purple from Chaewon's underside of her neck for here, just so we can keep a little bit of the consistency for the color. So majority of her clothes is actually more of a white and more of a, I think it's like a soft looking beige, like a cooler beige. So let's grab this color first. Use this for Nako's shirt. Make it a little bit beige, moving it towards the cooler side. Adding this for her shirt, or her coat. Use the red. I'm gonna use the red from Chaewon's lips, just to keep the color palette a little bit more consistent. I don't know how to get this color like a gold-ish color, but then also there's kind of like a dark ruby red in the middle. Now the colors aren't going to be like super accurate just because the desktop color is going to be different, as well as my iPad color is going to be different, so when I upload this maybe the colors look really off. But because my iPad's on the smaller side, I think viewing a reference for the video is just makes my iPad look more cluttered, so I'm kind of avoiding that for now. Laying out where the blue light's gonna be, adding like a duller color, and then adding my highlights. It's gonna go towards more of her roots. I'm gonna dull this to more of a purple. Just gonna highlight her roots because the light is hitting on this side. I think the overlay will help a little bit. I don't know if it looks too blue, but I think it helps a little bit, so I'll add the overlay afterwards. Or, yeah, I'll add it afterwards because I want it over, like, on everything rather than just on the figures. So let's merge this down, and we can start to render everything. I'm gonna render this pretty simple, I think, because, like, similar to the Vernon one, I'm not gonna spend too much time, I think. So all of this is just pretty much cleaning up everything and changing anything that we need that was part of the actual sketch, but kind of works better if you change it by blocking in color rather than just changing the line work. I'm gonna do the whites of her eyes afterwards because I really need to center the pupil accurately. Okay, so the highlights are actually on this side, and she does have two. So let's see how accurate we want to be with this. So does she look a little weird? I'll leave it. And the bangs look unnatural, but hopefully we can fix this a little bit. Okay, so it's not really touching the side of her cheek area. Just gonna kind of erase that. Gonna grab this really light color. Gonna highlight a bit of the edges of her where her hair kind of follows. Outline the rest of the hair. I'm gonna add a little bit more lines, I think, first. Okay, so her ear is actually supposed to pop through here. Gonna add a little bit more, kind of like this blue color to the hair. It's almost like a purple though. But this is closer to the color of the lighting that's actually hitting her hair color. Kind of this highlight, bring it around. I'm gonna add a little bit to this side as well, just kind of like a indication of her hair. Hopefully her earrings make sense. They look really big compared to the reference, but I'm just gonna leave it. I'm not gonna fiddle around about the proportions of her earrings. I'm just gonna quickly outline this a little bit just to make it look a little bit cleaner. Okay, let's do the last, like, oh, I have to do her ribbon first. So let's do her ribbon. It's kind of like this lace design on it too. Not too sure how to do this, so I'm just gonna do this on the edges. I feel like my hand's cramping. I think it's actually time for a break from drawing soon. So I don't really like the color that I used for the red, because it's actually not, like, I feel like this is not red enough. So Taiwan is pretty much almost done. Then all I'll have left is knuckle. I'm just gonna try to get rid of all these joints so they're not as visible. Otherwise her hands look very bony and a little bit too manly. She has like a thinner upper lip. I can't really get the likeness. I'm not too familiar drawing eyes one. I've never really taken the time to look at their features like close enough. I didn't do her eyebrows. I was looking at Nako's eyebrows and I'm like, looks a little sparse, but I don't remember doing Cheon's eyebrows either. Me enunciating my words is probably getting worse and worse. She has like really thin bangs as well, but I drew them a lot thicker. Maybe I should have erased it similar to how I did Chaewon's. But I don't even know if I like how I did her bangs. Have her hair kind of like touching her cheek. I'm gonna do her brows really lightly. Maybe like a dark brownish purple color. Outline her bangs a little bit more. But I don't want to outline them too much or they look like they're getting a little too thick. So a good tip about doing hair is that you should always like vary up the length of lines that you use to section off hair. Otherwise, if you do them at all the same length, which was I think one of the issues that I had for Chaewon's, which still kind of looks funny, is that if you vary up the lengths and either like thicknesses or like you just need to vary up your lines for hair, it'll look like the hair will look more natural rather than making everything stop and start from the same place. So I'm doing like the ruffles, trying to get a mid-tone color to do the inside parts of ruffles so that things make sense as they're folding in and out. Gotta I can't speak. We gotta make sure that these are sectioned properly so it makes more sense when adding shadows or highlights. Outline the rest of her hair, and then I think we can just do a little bit of touch-ups on her clothing and then check for any other last things we would like to do, like the window frame. I would like to re-put the window frame back in. I'm just adding a little bit of final highlights to Nako's hair. I think we are done. What about the blue light again? Trying this one more time. It's a little bit better. Still looks very like cartoonish, but I'm okay with that. Actually, I forgot to add a white layer over top, so I'm gonna add this below Chaewon and Nako. So I'm gonna see how can I do this. So I want it behind this portion. I'm gonna make this to screen, and then we're going to lower this opacity so it kind of has that different look to it. I'm going to merge this. Just gonna leave it like that just to soften up the edges a little bit because the edges looked a little too harsh, but I believe this is it. And yeah, so let's do the time-lapse replay. Doing the background color, blurring everything, continually working on the background, horrendous looking flowers, making that look more like a wallpaper, and then slowly fixing everything, coloring everything in, merging the layers, and then fully rendering stuff now. Or not fully rendering them, but I'm cleaning it up to the best of my ability without overworking them. Chaewon is done, so we're working on Nako. But yeah, I think that made a difference. So this looks really pretty and really nice, but I feel like that white needs to be there in order to show that either this is kind of like a glass or a window. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed watching me do another music video scene in my style, and this time it is Aizone's Panorama, and I drew Chaewon and Nako this time. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'll talk to you guys next time with another video. Bye!